Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, PC fam. Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. I know on Saturday you guys are used to seeing us around noon Eastern. Today we figured we'd tap in with y'all around 10 Eastern. Try something a little new. Just moving it around a bit, but I'm happy and thankful and grateful for everybody that's here and watching the show with us. We're here to talk nothing but good basketball talk. Chill, how you doing?
I'm liking this earlier time slot, Ox. I
Yeah.
know that people they work on Saturday. People in the car, they rolling. They want to hear us. There's
Mhm.
some people at the desk at 12 o'clock, but this getting to work in the early morning or just hanging around the house. I think this definitely works. This is gonna work, man. I'm definitely feeling this earlier thing. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
feeling it.
Chill, just like just doing content and just doing things at just different times. It's always been kind of like not weird, but it's always been just I don't know, eye opening when I find out like, oh, people like it when you go this time or this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, that's a
Mm-hmm.
peculiar time. So I'm always down just to stream and give the people good basketball talk.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Chill today, as you know, the title of the show is How Good Are the Celtics
Mm-hmm.
Actually? Um, Coming into the season, honestly, I had the Celtics as a 7, 8, 9 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought 7 might even have been a stretch. I thought they would be an 8 seed. I wasn't sure how good this team could be
Mm-hmm.
without their guy, without Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pleasantly surprised at
Mm-hmm.
the competitive nature of this basketball team.
Sure.
Um, so how are you feeling so far this season with what the Celtics have shown you? I mean, from Jalen Brown to Peyton Pritchard to
Mm-hmm.
Derek White to the big fella Kata and somebody that I think is going under the radar, Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla is doing a great job. Ox, I want to actually compound what you said. You said anywhere between 7 and 9. I was 8. I was around 8 to 10, and I was thinking by the time we get to the middle of January, if these guys are under 500, they pulling the plug on this thing.
Right.
I just didn't think that they'd be a good defensive team. I was hoping that Kada would take a leap and Kada would be better. Only he has, and he has been a lot better. Anthony Simons, not much of a defender, but I looked at this group and I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, how can they be good? And I really didn't see, considering what the East was this season, I really didn't see that they could be that viable. Only to find out Jalen Brown is way better than what I thought he was. Way
Mhm.
better. And Ox, you actually said this to me a couple of days ago. Chill. I don't think you listen to me when I talk because I I'm watching Jalen Brown. The handle has gotten tighter. The decision making is better. The jump shot is better. The mid range is better. I thought that this kid Minot, I thought that he was basically going to take Jordan Walsh's minutes. Only except
Right.
he's actually pressed Jordan Walsh, and Jordan Walsh has played a lot better. Sam Hauser, being one of their better perimeter defenders. I know how you feel, Ox, about the TJ McConnells of the world, the Revis Vasquez of the world. I see why you talk about Peyton Pritchard the way you do. I see why.
Mhm.
Because these dudes at the end, despite the Jason Tatums, despite Anthony Edwards and Donovan Mitchell, the great players in the game, Peyton Pritchard is a baller. Peyton Pritchard is a straight up hooper. He does everything on the
Absolutely.
floor that's necessary for you to be competitive in games. He's going to compete on the defensive end. He's going to knock down the long ball. He's going to make you defend. He's going to make you make mistakes as an offensive player. Now, they still do the same things that they did last season offensively. They're still number 1 in the league in attempts. They're still number 1 in the league in attempts. I think that they're number 3 in the league in makes. Um, they're turning the ball over at a high rate. And the reason why they're turning the ball over at a high rate is because their primary ball handler and distributor is out. So that's going to be an adjustment for everybody else. With that also being said, though, they're winning games, Ox. That big fella, Kata, he's actually turned out to be a better player than what I thought. He's actually been really good around the rim. His
Mhm.
finishing has improved. His rebounding has improved. I like this. I like this Boston Celtic team. I like what I'm seeing,
Right.
Ox, and
Right.
they could very well be a playoff team. I think they're 5th right now in the East,
They are fifth.
something
Yeah.
like that. Fifth or
Yeah.
sixth in the East. Yeah,
Fifth.
they've been a
Well,
pleasant surprise to me. Yes.
so So I'll go back to what you said a second ago, because you said that you said around this January, if they're below 500, you would expect them to pull the plug.
Yes, sir.
Till I was going so far as to say, I think, and I'm firmly against tanking franchises.
You hate it.
I hate. There's nothing I hate more than just not wanting to compete.
Yeah.
And I said that they should tank and try to get into the Cam Boozer sweepstakes. Those were my words. I said that. And I'll take it back. I'll take it back.
Yep.
I love the fact that they're not getting involved in that type of foolishness.
Yep.
And just proving to the world that you don't have to have a star-studded roster to be able to play basketball in the National Basketball Association.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that. But what we're seeing is something that I think we all kind of knew. The East is wide open.
It is. It 100% is. It is.
I want to run this down, Chill.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Detroit still leading the pack. They're 18-5.
Yep.
You have New York 2.5 games behind them, 15-7. The Raptors are a game behind New York at 15-9. And then you have 3 teams, Orlando, Boston, and Miami, all 14-9. 4 games behind Detroit. Then you have Philly and Cleveland, who are 4.5 games behind Detroit. So, and then throw Atlanta in there, who's 13-11. They're 5.5 games behind Detroit. Atlanta's the 9 seed so far, and they're 5.5 games behind the number 1 team, Detroit. So in NBC, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 teams in between Atlanta and Detroit. 7 teams in between there, and that's 5.5 games. So you got 9 teams total in that 5.5 range, but just 7 teams in between there, bunched in between 7. There's not a lot of elbow room in here, Chill.
There's
no wiggle room.
It sounded to me like that's exactly what it sounded to me like, Ox. It sounded to me like in a week, I can go from being in a play-in tournament to hosting a playoff series.
Exactly.
That's what it sounded like to me. I can go on a run in a week, and the next thing you know, I was in the play-in tournament, and now you got to come to my building for 4 of the next 7 games. That's what it sounds like. And I mean, I think it says a lot about what the Eastern Conference and how competitive it really is. Like, when you think about losing Jason Tatum, when you think about losing Tyrese Halliburton, right? When you think about losing players like this, these are guys that are integral for their group. The Celtics just won the NBA championship in 24. The Indiana Pacers were just in the NBA championship in 25. So you lose 2 of the Eastern Conference, their best players. Meanwhile, we have a log jam. Say that one more time, Mox.
And Dame too.
And Dame too. Don't leave that part out. And you lose Dame. Dame goes back to the West Coast. Now you have a log jam from basically 3 or 2 to 9. You basically got a log jam where now I have to be on my P's and Q's all week, every day, because there are no gimmies, which goes back to my original logic. And I told you this earlier in the week, Ox, that this is why Brooklyn, Indiana, Washington, Sacramento, New Orleans, teams like that, we got to beat them because we don't have a lot of wiggle room, right? We can't lose to Utah. We can't lose to the Bulls. We can't lose to these guys because we got to deal with Orlando. We got to deal with Boston. We got to deal with Miami. We got to deal with Philly. So these other games that we have when we got to see Charlotte, we got to beat them. We have to. And I think Joe Mazzulla, I think he deserves a lot of credit for what he's been doing. And I really dig his lineups. He's got this one lineup that he runs where he's got Simons, Pritchard, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Kata. It's a small ball lineup, but it works. And the reason why it works, it's a small ball lineup, but it works. And the reason why it works is because they play faster with that lineup. And not only do they play faster with that lineup, Joe Mazzulla has always been really good in mismatch hunting, and he does a great job with Jaylen Brown, getting those bigger guys on Jaylen Brown, whose handle has gotten a lot tighter, and been able to get into the middle of the post and get to the rim on those bigger guys. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm an advocate that the small ball lineup, it doesn't work all the time because you got bigger guys who do what small guys do now. But in this particular situation with Joe Mazzulla, when he goes up against teams like Charlotte, when he goes up against teams like Washington, he drags those big guys like Sarr and Kalkbrenner. he drags those guys away from the basket and gets those switches where Jaylen Brown, where Derek White can go after those guys, and they're in trouble. Basically taking those guys out to the deep water and drowning them. I think, and I know this might sound crazy to you, Ox. I think we got to start talking about Joe Mazzulla in the Coach of the Year conversation. I know what Coach Bickerstaff has been doing. I know what Coach Bickerstaff has been doing. I know what Coach Dagnall is doing in Oklahoma City, what J.J. Redick is doing. I think Joe Mazzulla is doing a fantastic job in Boston.
It's absolutely not crazy. When you have a coach, I think it's a breath of fresh air when you have NBA coaches that are still willing to just try different things. You know, I like that. So I got to ask you the tough question now, because like we talked about, it's jam packed in here. Chill. This is like we're at a little club, a little bar, went to go see a show, and somebody over promoted. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to get. I'm at the front. I turn around like it's time to leave, and it's just it's so many people in here. I can hardly move. Chill.
We only thought that it was only going to be like 200 people in here, Ox, and 2,000 people showed up. Is that what's going on?
Way over the occupancy. Like if the fire marshal shows
shutting
up,
us down.
Oh, this is done, right? So we're in a situation like this right now, Chill. I want to know, come March, do we call the big guns to get us out of here? Do we call the security like, hey man, get us out of here? What I mean by that,
I know what you mean.
Is it time to tap in Jason Tatum?
I know what you mean, Ox. And to be honest with you,
come March, can we tap in Jason Tatum? Chill?
I was thinking about it. So let me give you a quick timeline, Ox, because when we get to thinking about Achilles injuries and we get to thinking about ACL injuries, we think like lifetime. Just so we clear, Ox, that happened 8 months ago. It's not like that happened like 2 or 3 months ago. It's been 8 months now since that happened. Yeah.
About 7, 8. Yeah.
It happened in so we're looking at 8 months now that happened. All right. And I was adamant, like there's no reason to bring Jason Tatum back. None whatsoever. I'm like, yo, this dude can sit out for the rest of the season. We'll be fine, and we'll try it again next season. This is a gap year for us. We're gonna get a high draft pick. Here's the problem, though, Ox. The problem is that the Celtics are playing at a top 5 pace in terms of seeding. If they end up with, because you just mentioned it, with the Eastern Conference being as wide open as it is, if the Celtics end up with a top 3 seed without Jason Tatum, and we get to March, which, by the way, Ox, has been almost a year. Yeah. It's been almost a year.
March will make 10 months.
Yeah, and with it being almost a year, I'm looking at the standings and I'm looking at what we're doing. And I know it sounds nuts. I'm looking at the stands and I'm looking at what we're doing. And of course, I'm gonna start with the nudging. How you feeling, my man? What's going on with you? And I know I was adamant about this. And I was thinking, if we're gonna be garbage, there's no reason to bring him back. But if we are top 3, top 4 seed, and with the Eastern Conference being wide open, maybe this isn't a wasted year. Maybe this is a year where we can consider getting back in it. Maybe this is a year where, yo, I know what Detroit is doing. I know what Detroit is doing. I know what Cleveland is doing. Hey, man, how you feeling, young fella? You think you can go? I ain't saying that you have to, but I'm just checking your temperature. How you feeling, my man? Do you think you can go? You want to give it a run? And this is also, and I know you hate this, Ox. This is also why the G League is very important, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to just throw him out there. Right. I want to get him some reps. I want to get him around some people that's going to give him some competition where I can see where he is, because he hasn't done anything live. Again, it's been 8 months. He's not doing any real running, anything strenuous like that. No 5-on-5. So, okay, I'm comfortable with that. But if we get to March, if we get to February, March, and this Celtic team is still hanging around that 4 to 6 range, yes. It would be negligent of me as a franchise if I didn't consider it. Like, I ain't saying that I'm doing it. Right. I'm not saying that I'm doing it, but it would be negligent of me as a franchise if I didn't consider it, because I'm looking at what's going on with Detroit, and I'm thinking to myself, if we had him, we'd give you dudes a run for your money. We definitely can beat you guys. We can definitely beat you if we had him. But you guys, I think we can give you a run for your money. And in this momentum, we can possibly take it into next season. That's not to say that we couldn't win it, considering how sharp he would be if he came back. So, again, Ox, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I would have to think about it, and then I'd have to think
Right.
strong and hard about it. Yes, I would.
I would definitely think about it. I would call in our team doctors and let them check them out. I'm calling in top doctors from all over the world, and we're gonna give them a full exam, put them through some things. And chill. I have no problem with the G League thing. I had a problem with what Penn said about Cam Boozer starting on their G League. That
Yeah.
was ridiculous to me. I think that G League is a great thing. On top of that, I actually saw on TikTok something you commented on. I was watching a video of a guy that plays for the G League, and he was talking about guarding LaMelo
Mhm.
and whatnot. And I'm just like, that was a really dope video. And just stuff like that shows like this stuff matters, like having
Yeah.
a farm team, it really matters, and it helps you get ready. So I wouldn't mind till I might wait till April though. Like we'll start the exams in March, and we'll start getting you going in April. And I don't know, till that Achilles thing, it really scares me. It just
Oh, it
really
scares
scares me.
it scares the
It really
life out of me,
scares me.
Ox. It does. But again, we've come to a space where it's been some time. This isn't like, this just happened 6 months ago. If it happened 6 months ago, I wouldn't even consider it. But by the
Yeah.
timeline that you're talking about, we're coming up on a year, right? We're
Right.
coming up on a year. And what I immediately think about, to your point, when you're talking about the G League, I'm thinking about, okay, I've been in the penthouse and I've been living in the penthouse. Well, I got to go back and get sharp. How about let's go down to the hood and let's go get some run. Let's see what's going on down there.
Mhm.
Let, let,
Yeah.
let's see if I still got it. And what's the best place for me to find out if I still got it, or for me to get my confidence? 'Cause I can tell you right now, Ox, you've been living in Society Hill. When you come down to the hood, they're gonna be looking at you like, you want some of this? Let's
Mhm.
find out where I am. Yep. Let's
Yeah.
find out where I am. And if I can, and those G League guys, they are, and when I say hungry, Ox, I'm talking about pack of wolves hungry. They're not
Yeah.
looking at Jason Tatum like, yo, that's Jason Tatum. No, they're looking at Jason Tatum like, I want to see where I am. Like, this is
Right.
the dude in the league. So let's see where I am. I want to see how good I can be. So I think this would be good for him to get some reps in with them, to get some work with them, to see where he is. And to your point, Ox, as much as I'm as adamant as I was about not doing it, I would have to consider it. I would have to, especially if they the fourth seed, if they the third
Right.
seed in the East. Yeah, I have to check some temperatures. Yes, I do.
Chill, that East is wide open, chill. But the thing about it is, it's competitive. So I know me and you have been the main ones pushing back on that weak East logic. It's competitive over there.
Yeah,
So
it is.
we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm actually curious to see how that turns out.
Yep.
But speaking of adding Jason Tatum, let's talk about some teams that are looking to potentially add to make some additions. Obviously we know about Giannis. We'll talk about that in a second. But I want to talk about the top 3 targets for the Los Angeles Lakers, according to Bleacher Report. Number 1 is your man Herb Jones. Do you think? You think that's a pretty good addition for the Lakers? Is that something they need?
I
Herb
do
Jones?
think that, because he could be what Vando was supposed to be. You heard me talking about Vando this whole summer, Ox. We got a guy who, he's now has an off season to prepare and to get ready for the season. He doesn't have to worry about injuries or anything like that. Only except that just hasn't happened. But the thing that I think is really interesting, Ox, because you just brought up Herb Jones, and I know that there's other guys, but the thing I think is interesting is, Ox, just so you know, when she walked in the club, you ain't the only one who saw her. There's some other people who saw her too.
Right.
Like, you ain't the only one who got your eye on her. I seen her too, and I'm gonna go shoot my shot too. So as much as he's on the Lakers radar, it's some other teams that's thinking about, hey, he can help us too, especially if he's available. Now, I'm not gonna just sing. Okay, of course, we could single out the Lakers and say that the Lakers might be the team that he could really help, because he 100% could help them, no doubt about that. But I can tell you one team that would almost, considering what they have, they would definitely check their temperature. That's Oklahoma City. One, he's on the cheap. That's number one. He's on the cheap. Number 2, he's absolutely what they need in a rotation guy. He's absolutely that. And New Orleans would hand him over for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. With all the draft picks we got, which, by the way, we need, Ox. Hello, we need our picks back.
Oh man.
Yes, we do. We need
Chill.
our picks
That's
back.
oh man.
Yes, we
That's
100%
one
need our
that's
picks
one of
back.
the ones like, okay, I understand she fine and know everybody see her too, but anybody but him, man.
Nah, don't talk to him though. No,
Like anybody but him. Come on.
He the one standing outside the club with the Bentley door open, like, come on, mama, come
Yeah,
on.
it's just so they got everything over there. If she go over there, she ain't never coming back.
Ever, you never gonna see her again, Ox. Never, you never gonna
Oh
see her
man.
again. And I got
No
in
way.
Oklahoma City is that kind of organization, not just as an organization alone, but their style of play is conducive to what Herb Jones does. Big
Right.
time wing defender, can play in transition, can knock down an open shot, and what he would cost, it wouldn't be much. If you're thinking about what New Orleans is doing, New Orleans is clearly having a fire sale if they're moving off
Mm-hmm.
of Herb Jones and possibly other guys, maybe Zion. Well, if they're doing that, then the logic for me is I got to get my draft picks back. And okay, what's it going to cost for Herb Jones in Oklahoma City? What's it going to cost for Herb Jones in San Antonio? Right? What's it going to cost for Herb Jones? Because again, Ox, you ain't the only one paying attention to her. Phoenix is straight. Like a team like Phoenix is good because they already have Ryan Dunn. And I think that they're good with Ryan Dunn, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State picked up the telephone and checked their temperature on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Trailblazers as well. But the Lakers, I do understand why they would be interested in Herb Jones, because again, Vando was supposed to be that guy that they were looking for. And with him being that guy that they were looking for, it just hasn't worked out. It really hasn't. And I think
Yeah.
the addition of Herb Jones, when he's healthy, I think he makes them a much viable with Marcus Smart. He makes them much more viable as a defensive team, much more.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be a really good pickup for the Lakers. Definitely. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to imagine how do you beat a team that has Shea, Caruso, Herb Jones, and J Dub and Chet on the floor right now. Like, what are we? What's going on? And then
Wait a minute, this just ain't fair.
yeah,
This really isn't.
yeah. But another guy you mentioned this. You mentioned the Suns. Another guy on the Lakers' radar, according to Bleacher Report, is Dylan Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how would that work? You know, Dylan Brooks and LeBron James feel a certain way about each other. Is that even possible, or is this just something that Bleacher Report's just putting together?
Well, I number one, if you look at what James has been doing with the Lakers at this point, right? If you look at what James has been doing with the Lakers at this point, it's obvious that any decision making from him, I don't think it's going by the wayside, but he's not the decision maker nearly as much as he used to be. So with that being said, if Dylan Brooks was a target, I don't think he would have any say-so in whether or not they would acquire him. The problem with that is, Ox, is Phoenix ain't bad.
Right.
Phoenix is actually good. And with Phoenix being good, why are we giving him to the Lakers? No. Not only is Phoenix good, Dylan Brooks is one of the main reasons why Phoenix is good. So if Dylan Brooks is one of the main reasons why Phoenix is good, because he's been the bucket getter that he's been, not only being the bucket getter that he's been, the disruptor that he's been, the defender that he's been, the irritant that he's been, why are we going to give him to the Lakers for what do you have to give us in order for us to still be what we are? There isn't anything that you have. That includes the money, because, again, Dylan Brooks is on a really cheap deal. I think his deal was, when he signed that deal in Houston, was like 4 years, $80 million. We get him for $20 million? I don't think so. No, we ain't handing him over to the Lakers, because that's a bucket of extra crispy and a six-pack. They don't have any draft picks. And I'm talking about the Lakers. They don't have any draft picks. And what do you have over there that I'm interested in that I would take for Dylan Brooks? I'm not taking Marcus Smart. I'm good on Marcus Smart. And that's not because Marcus Smart can't play. And that's not because Marcus Smart can't play. I think Marcus Smart is still a damn good player. I think the difference is that we're good with the guy we got. That's not an upgrade if we give you Dylan Brooks and you give us Marcus Smart. That doesn't make us better as a unit. Now, remember, just because you're a better player does not mean it's an upgrade, because it might not fit. So I don't see the Lakers doing that. I don't see Phoenix doing that. We already got a good team.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And last on this list is somebody that, Chill, me and you have spoken on, going to a couple teams and making them much better. And I think if he went to this Lakers team, he would make them much better. and that is Robert Williams III.
Well, you and I had this conversation last year, and I was trying to figure out because he was in and out of the lineup. There were some injury issues. I was trying to figure out. I was like, why aren't the Lakers more aggressive with him? But then I'm thinking to myself, there's other teams that I was thinking about. The one team that I was thinking about, because I think he comes off the books this year, Ox. I think he's on the books for like 19 million. And I'm thinking to myself, that's perfect. That's a little bit of money. So with that being said, the team that I was thinking about, this was last year. I was like, why aren't the Knicks picking up the phone? Considering the fact that why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. I was about to say Mitchell Williams. Mitchell Robinson. Considering the fact that he had been in and out of the lineup, I do understand that you might be a little. I know you might be a little afraid that, you know, Robert Williams might be injury prone. But if I can get him for 15 to 20 minutes on that Knicks squad, oh my goodness, he would have been perfect for what they were doing. And now the Lakers, right? So now the Lakers want to call. Now the Lakers want to call up Portland and ask for Robert Williams when they already handed over DeAndre Ayton to you. Let's be clear about that. They cut DeAndre Ayton and handed him over to you. And now you want us to give you Robert Williams too. That's not to say that we're not interested in moving. That's not to say that we're not interested in moving off of Robert Williams, because I think that they already have their big guy in Klingon, right? I think they already have their big guy in Klingon, and I think that they're developing this kid Hansen. I think he's going to be a player. I just think he's really raw right now, right? But with that being said, of the teams that I'm thinking they're not interested in handing them over to, it's the Lakers. No, we good.
Yeah.
No.
So I'll tell you one thing: they need to. All the teams need to unite right now and become a united front. I need them to implement that Lakers tax and understand that we are not dealing with you unless you give us Austin Reeves. I'm only dealing with you with Austin Reeves. You can't have anything unless Austin Reeves is in the deal. We need to implement that Lakers tax as a united front. Everybody, let's stand together, okay?
Ox, you remember the show The Wire? And I don't know if
course.
you remember when there was a scene where all of the Baltimore guys, they had gotten together at the
New
hotel.
York guys, right?
Yeah, and they was talking about, we
Yeah.
got to run these New York dudes out of it. We got to run these New York dudes out of it. That's what it sounds like with the Lakers. Like, we got to all get together. We ain't dealing with the Lakers. None of us. All of you, everybody here, we got to make a pact. If the Lakers call you, hang the phone up. We're not dealing with them. No, absolutely not. Unless it has specifically to do with Austin Reeves, we're not dealing with them. Don't ask us for nothing.
We're putting a big tax on the Lakers. But speaking of the Lakers and DeAndre Ayton, I see a couple guys in the lobby. I'm about to get you guys in just a few seconds. So speaking of DeAndre Ayton and the Lakers, Chill, Clutch Points reported today that DeAndre Ayton seems like he's found a new home. Now, Chill, remember I was saying that the Lakers had 4 All-Stars before this season started. Now, it might be 3 because I'm not sure if Bron's going to make it. But it looks like it's still early in the season.
Yep.
But DeAndre Ayton has already had 7 20-10 games for the Lakers. That's more than the 6 he had all season for the Blazers. So that's 7 20-10 games. Right now, DeAndre Ayton is averaging 16-9 for the Lakers. I expected him to average a few more rebounds than that, honestly. I was expecting more like a 17-11 from DeAndre Ayton. But 16-9, I think he's being very productive and he's helping this Lakers team. So how do you feel about DeAndre Ayton so far? Do you think he's performing well, or do you think he has a little more to give?
I definitely think he's got more to give, Ox. I'm watching him, and of that 16-9, he could get 4 more points just from running. Like, I watched the game yesterday. Just from running, he could give me 4. He can give me 4 more points, right? So the being on the glass, I mean, when you got a rebounder like Luka, like when you got a rebounder like Luka, not only when you have a rebounder like Luka, they don't relegate the responsibility. The Lakers don't relegate the responsibility just to their big guy, even though they need him, because it was obvious last year when they had James at the 5 in the playoffs what ended up happening, right? It's obvious that they need DeAndre Ayton as their 5. However, they're more of a gang rebounding group, And with them being a game rebounding group, especially with Luka being an 8-9 rebounding game guy, I think that DeAndre Ayton not suffers, but I think that he's a casualty because of that. Now, with that being said, Ox, with that being said, when Luka is rebounding like that, when Austin Reeves is rebounding like that, that's DeAndre Ayton. He should be taking off. He should be running down the floor when Luka gets the ball off the glass. He should be gone when Austin Reeves gets the ball off the glass. He should be gone when the ball goes through the net. I see him, and there's a part of me that thinks that this is maybe an athletic thing, but I've seen him in Portland. I've seen him run the floor. I've seen him when he was in Phoenix. And DeAndre Ayton is 25 years old. He's not old, right? So with that being said, if he would run just a little bit more for me, I think he would make the Lakers much more viable. I think that in the games that he's played with the Lakers, he's been a plus more than he's been a minus. Been a plus more than he's been a minus. He's been the rim protector that they've needed. With him being the rim protector that they've needed, he's also been really good around the basket. I was watching him against Toronto, and they really couldn't do anything with Pirtle out of the lineup. They couldn't do anything with him around the basket. I think that he could get a little bit bigger around the basket and ask for the basketball a little bit more, because I do think that there's more to be desired from him. But from what I'm getting right now from him, this is good, Ox. But good ain't good enough if we're trying to win it. Good is not good enough if we're trying to win it.
Absolutely not. If you can't run, you can't hoop. DeAndre, get up on that horse, man.
Let's go, man.
Get up the floor. Yeah, I'm feel you. I think he has a little bit more to give, and that's scary because I think he's been playing very well, and I think if he does take it to the next level, I think the Lakers squad will go with him. So we'll see, y'all. We'll see, man. Keep watching basketball, y'all. First, before I get to the lobby, let me get through the super chats. Also, we have a new YouTube member by the name of Hey, it's Liam8049. Appreciate you for tapping in. We have a super chat from the Arbiter85. Where are y'all at on the Magic so far? Been a good stretch, but it still feels like they aren't playing close to their potential, especially defensively. And if you could trade for one player, who would it be?
I'm not trading for any players. That's number one, because you guys are a young group. I mean, France is one of the better players in the game. Not only is France one of the better players in the game, you just got Paolo back. There's a reason why they aren't playing close to their potential. My man, season just started. Like, we barely a month and a half into the season, right? We're not that far away from the season just starting. So they're still in a space where, what's today, Ox? The 6th of December? They still trying to figure it out, what they're doing. I can tell you one thing that they're not doing. They ain't trying to figure out their defense, because they are good at that. They 100% are figuring. I think they've figured out their defense. I think they've figured out their switch packages. I think they're really connected. Now, there is an issue that I do have, and I'm on record saying this, that I would like to see Suggs be more of a bucket getter. I would like to see him get downhill and be more of a playmaker. I don't think that there's any trades that need to happen. I am an advocate of holding your players' feet to the fire. What you do when you talk about trades is, I think you let these guys off the hook instead of demanding that they get better. This Orlando team, you develop these guys. You drafted Paolo, Franz, Suggs, right? Isaac, all of these guys. You've had these guys in your organization. They need to get better. That's all that it is. I think that they need to get better, and if they get better, I think this Orlando team is viable in the Eastern Conference. I think that they're on their way to doing something, no doubt.
For sure. Yeah, I'm high on Orlando. Still have been.
Yep.
And I just think they're going to keep getting better. So just be patient. Let's not be so hasty to make trades, y'all.
Yep.
But I want to talk about the Giannis trade or whatnot. But first, I want to get to the lobby. Got my man Jay in the building. Let's see what Jay got for us today.
What up?
What's up, Chill? How about my boys in green? Chill?
How about them?
What you think they're doing? You think they're like?
What do you mean? What I think they're doing? They're not winning the NBA championship. Let's just.
100%. No, I know that for a fact.
Let's start right there. They're not winning the NBA championship if they don't get Jason Tatum back. But
if they don't
get him back, if they do,
do you think they make any big moves, Chill? Trade deadline?
I don't. I think that what we're doing right now with this group, because Kata is actually turning into a player. and I love it.
He is.
He's actually a lot better around the rim than what I thought. I thought he was going to get better, but I didn't think he'd be this good around the rim like he is. Not only has he been better around the rim, he's been better on the glass, which I was very adamant about him being a better rebounder. That really helps. With that being said, Peyton Pritchard with the ball in his hands, he's gotten a lot better. I'm already on record talking about how good Jaylen Brown has been. Not only how good Jaylen Brown has been, Derek White seems to be getting better. Like earlier in the season, I did not like what I was seeing. I think they're a game and a half out the 3 spot right now.
Yeah, we're
I
top
think that's
5
where
right
we are.
now.
Yeah, I think they're a game and a half out the 3 spot. Now, Jay, I'm telling you, I'm on record saying this. This is 8 months now that Jason Tatum has been out of the lineup. 8 months.
Mhm.
If we get to the All-Star break, if we get to March and these dudes are still hovering around that 3 to 5 spot, I got to check this dude's temperature. I got to see how, because it'll be
That's
almost
what
a year.
I was literally just about to say that, chill. I was like, if we get to like February and March, chill, and we're top 5, JT's coming back.
I
If
got to
we're
check
like
his temperature. I have to.
he's coming back. Like, there's no way that. Well, not only that, like he himself has said he wants to play this season, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if we're hovering around barely 500, though, I don't think he comes back. Chill. I think they just shut it down for the season. If I'm being honest.
It depends. Well, it depends on where we are, because again, we got a log jam from 3 to 9, very much like what was going on in the Western Conference last year, right? We got a log jam. So if we are, let's say it's February the 25th, and we a game and a half out the 2 spot, and we in the 4 spot. Hey, I got to sit down with Jason Tatum, and I got to find out where he is. I got to find out how he feels. I got to find out what the doctors think. I want to put him in the G League. I want to get him around some competition. I want him to start running. He's probably running now, but I want to get him around some real competition to see where we are with him and how close we are.
He's already practicing, no? I've seen some clips of this dude already practicing.
Well, I've seen him. I've seen him shooting. I haven't seen him in any 5-on-5 drills. I haven't seen him in any 1-on-1 drills. I haven't seen him doing any contact stuff, which I think that we're coming up on a time when maybe we could start doing some stuff like that. Because again, it's already been 8 months. By the time we get to January, February, that'll be 10 months. Yeah, man. So
how long does it take for an athlete generally to heal that kind of, to get back into business?
It's about an 8 to 12 month process. So 8 months to a year.
So he should be back by March then, right?
That's what I'm thinking. And again, if this Boston Celtic team, if we get to Ox's point, if we get to March, late February, March, and these dudes is hovering around that 3 to 5 spot, yeah, I gotta check his temperature. I'd be negligent as an organization if I didn't do it. I'd be wrong.
I can't believe this, chill. I was not expecting us to be this good.
That's why
I thought we were gonna be like bottom 5. And like we were gonna have like a lottery pick.
I had y'all between 8 to 10, and I had y'all losing in the play-in tournament. And let's see if we could get a high draft pick. And then we got some money this summer to spend. We get Jason Tatum back. Let's see if we can go out and we can get some free agents, and we'll try it again next year. Only to find out Jaylen Brown way better than I thought he was. Way better than what I thought he was.
Man, I'm telling you, chill. The narratives are gonna get nasty, chill.
They're not. They're not.
I'm telling you, chill. People are gonna come at you, chill, with Jaylen Brown's better than JT talks. You got to shut it down, chill.
But here's the thing. I understand why they are that, and the reason why I understand why they are that is because I'm looking at Jaylen Brown without Jason Tatum. Now, there's been stretches where people say, "Well, he's played without Jason Tatum." Jason Tatum has played in 90% of the games. Okay, he's played.
That is
so
true.
The stretches that he plays is like 1 game, 2 games, and he'll play 1 game without him. Then in another 7-8 games, he'll play with him. Then he'll play 1 game. We haven't seen an entire season like we're seeing now with Jaylen Brown having to do his thing, only to find out that this guy is a lot better. Now, I don't think, I'm on record saying this, I don't think he's better than Jason Tatum.
Me neither.
I do think he's a lot better than what I gave him credit for.
That's that 1-2 punch. Chill. Who do they remind you of? Who do JT and JB remind you of?
I haven't even thought about that, to be honest with you. I haven't thought about, because I don't think that they're like any duo. Like, I'm not going to do the Jordan and Scottie Pippen thing. No, I'm not going to do that. But I just think that they're a unique bunch, because Jason Tatum is such a dynamic scorer, distributor on the glass.
Speaking
he just does
of which,
everything.
I want to ask you some just on that, chill. Just help me out here. My man's chill said that Jason Tatum is a stiff player and he don't got no bag. What am I supposed to say to that, Chill?
Nothing. You're supposed to walk away.
Like
Because that's
he
rage
said he
bait.
ain't got no, because I was saying that JT is better than Paul George. We were arguing about him being better than PG-13. I think he's better. I think
do
JT's
too.
better.
I do too.
And he's over here saying, bro, name a signature shot that JT got.
Okay, he's got that step back three. It's cash.
That's what I said. That's step back three.
He's got that step back three. He's on the right block. He's got that turnaround jump shot in the post. That's also good. So, okay, he doesn't have the money mid range that Kobe Bryant has. He doesn't finish at the rim like Kyrie Irving, but he does finish at the rim, and he does have things that he can go to. And Ox, those dollar sign eyes have gotten smaller, and the reason why they've gotten smaller is because, okay, I've seen this a couple of times. I mean, the first time I see it, it's like, oh shit, where am I? All right, I got punched in the face. I ain't never been punched in the face before. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, now I got punched in the face. I know what getting punched in the face look like. So I'm more prepared for it now. To your point, when you see those dollar sign eyes, immediately you're thinking, is this dude shook? Nah, I'm more with the drama today than what I was years ago.
I mean,
Way not anymore. He's back.
We ended up
Jay, we do got to get moving though, brother. Appreciate you pulling up, and we would definitely be tapped into your Celtics, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. When you first said that, Ox, I was like, dollar sign eyes, is my man Ox Ayton? And then I went back and watched some older film, like 21, 22, and I'm watching them in the NBA championship. I'm watching them in the playoffs, not just the NBA finals, but I'm watching them in the playoffs where, his shot might not be going, and then his head will drop, and then he's walking around, and I'm like, young fella, we're not going to stop coming to you. So pick your head up. Pick your head up, because the game's not over. We're not going to stop looking for you. With that being said, it's way different today than what it was back then. Way different.
100%, and that's expected though. It just comes with, you know how it is. Just when you see a guy that's younger than you, and they're dealing with something for the first time, and they're all frantic about it, and you're just like, he'll be all right,
He need this. He need
it. It's gonna happen again, bro. Don't trip, So that's just part of it. Shout out to JT, and just don't come back too soon, brother. We need.
No, don't do that.
Let me see who else we got. We got Liam Thompson. Let's see what Liam got for us. What's up, Liam?
What up?
What up? Chill, I'm back. Don't worry. Hear me out. I have reached that level of acceptance in the 5 stages of grief. All right. I was at denial. I was at anger. I was at bargaining. I was at depression. I'm at acceptance.
Really quickly, Liam. Ox, just so you know, Ox, this is a therapy session. Liam is a New Orleans fan, and like whenever he talks
New Orleans,
to me,
what?
He a Pelicans guy. So with him being a Pelicans guy, whenever he talks to me, it's like a therapy session for him. Like he gets whatever he needs to get out, and I'm like I'm like the therapist writing down. Well, sir, how do you feel about that?
But don't worry. It's not a therapy session today. I had a couple questions. Number one, I don't know if y'all saw the super chat that I left yesterday in y'all's panel. Yep. Zion's contract is not that radioactive. It's actually pretty favorable towards teams.
So the 3 years, so the 3 years aren't guaranteed. I do remember that.
No, yeah. So because when he signed the new contract, there was a weight clause and there was a games played clause.
I do remember.
And in the first, I want to say like 2 months of him signing that contract, he already voided it. So none of his 3 years past this one, because we picked it up. So the next 2 years are not guaranteed, meaning a team can trade for Zion and test him out and cut him.
Damn.
Yeah, like that's how bad it's been with him. It is what it is.
Interesting.
On top of that,
the players association, the players union will allow you to have a contract like that?
He is the only person in the NBA that I can think of in recent memory that has that type of contract.
I haven't heard about anybody having a contract like that.
Yeah, usually all of your money is guaranteed. He has to. He's on an NFL contract.
What I remember with the Miami Heat, Tim Hardaway had a clause in his contract. He had to play at 190 pounds, and if he played at 190 pounds, he ended up getting a $500,000 bonus.
Right.
If he played at that weight throughout the course of the season. If he didn't play at that weight, he didn't get that money. But the rest of his money was guaranteed. This Zion contract, I've never heard you have to have a weight clause, and if you don't have this, your contract is voided. Not you don't get them. I've never heard that before.
Which is why I personally myself. I like it. You know, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think there should be more contracts like that.
Yeah,
not based on production, but based on availability.
I think with the Zion contract and how polarizing it was, you're going to start seeing more contracts like that with players that haven't been too reliable.
That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me.
The trade talks that y'all were talking about. I want your opinion. Don't trade Jordan Poole or DeJounte Murray yet, because they're both coming off an injury and they both still have something to give. Let them play the season out and then trade them in the off season while you evaluate their trade value throughout the rest of the season. You can trade Zion at any point, and I'm okay with trading Trey because you have Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is an expiring contract. He's a cheap and good role player, and there is a chance that you can get him to re-sign depending on how the rest of the season goes. I don't know if he will, but there's a chance that he would. Herb or Trey, if you trade them to OKC, I do not want anything if you are not throwing in that Clippers 2026 pick.
I don't know if they're giving that one up. No way.
They have no need for it. They're already a dynasty, and you're getting one of the best perimeter defenders in the league at he's 27, 28.
Okay, first of all, us not needing a lottery pick right now, we don't know what 5 years is going to look like. We don't know what 2 years is going to look like. So we 100% need that pick right now.
No,
yes, we do.
Nobody's gonna hand you AJ DeBonsa.
No.
Okay. The only person that's talked about in trades right now that is worth that pick is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's it.
I'm not giving you AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer for Trey Jones.
For Herb Jones. No.
For Herb Jones, I'm sorry. For Herb Jones, and I love Herb. But no way. That. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not. Now,
that's fair.
We could have a conversation about, future picks. We could have a conversation about, maybe a 28 or 29 first round pick and maybe some twos. Okay, we can definitely do that. But I can tell you what we're not doing. We're not giving you the pick this year because this is one of the most loaded drafts that we have. And with this being one of the most loaded drafts that we have, I'm basically giving you this pick and I'm saying that the guy that you pick is not going to be better than Herb Jones. Hell no, I ain't doing that.
Right. Now, Liam, I want to say this. I don't know if you were listening to the show earlier, but I said that the league needs to unite and implement Lakers tax. The league also needs to unite and implement OKC tax. Which means OKC probably won't be making any moves because you're going to have to give that Clippers pick or J-Dub for anything you want over here. I think that needs to be the OKC tax. If you want, I don't care. I don't care if you want. Look, I don't care if you want the 14th guy on my bench, the 14th guy on my roster. I need J-Dub or I need that Clippers pick.
Yeah. No, I mean that's fair. Now, do you think if we do trade Herb to the Spurs or something, they would give up Devin Vassell?
I think that they're looking for draft picks when it comes to Herb. I don't think
you think they're looking for capital.
Yes, I think because again, remember what you did. I'm not you and I have had this conversation, Liam, about giving up that unprotected first round pick. I'm still on record. If Queen was your guy, you should have picked him at 7. We could have got Fears at 12, and even if he wasn't there, we could have moved up and got something else. But not at the expense of an unprotected first round pick. No way.
Right. Now, fair. But look at what we do have. We got Fears, who's number 3 on the Rookie of the Year ladder. Yep. And we got Queen, who's number 5 or 7 on the Rookie of the Year ladder.
Around, sure.
Yeah, you got 2 lottery picks, which everyone is saying we could have gotten next year. We got them this year. And they're both playing out of their mind. These, in my opinion,
sure,
these are 2 players that could be franchise cornerstones.
Sure. Here's the difference with that, though, Liam. The difference with that, Liam, and we got to move on. But the difference with that is this draft is actually better than last year's draft. So the guy that you're getting with the 6th pick or the 4th pick is probably going to be better than Fears. If you get the guy with the 5th pick, he's probably going to be better. So getting Fears maybe is, I think Fears is great, but I'm not giving up that first round pick in this draft because this draft is just so much better. No, I'm not doing that. But
That's
Liam,
fair.
we got to bounce,
Right.
brother. We got to bounce. It's good to talk to you, my man.
Real quick. I don't like that people judge New Orleans for that pick trade so much when people memory hold that the Clippers have no future because they gave it to Philly, and the Clippers, Philly and OKC and Dallas has no future either. Just keep that in mind.
Okay, well, Liam, I hear you on that, but just because one neighbor did some dumb shit doesn't mean you should do some dumb shit too.
That's fair. That's
All
fair.
right,
I'll
then.
give you that one.
Peace,
All right,
brother.
y'all have a good one.
Ox, you painted your house green. I ain't painting my house green. What you do that for?
Man, chill. What everybody's mama in America had the same line. If he jumped off a cliff, would you jump off the cliff too?
Oh, what the hell I'm doing
No, hell no. What do I look like?
Ox put a 10-foot fence around his house. What the hell I need a 10-foot fence for? I don't need that.
On top of that, do you know the fine you're about to get for that 10-foot fence? I know
my
HOA
goodness.
is about to be tripping.
They ain't
so-
trying to hear that. No. Why you got a
Shit.
10-foot fence around here? Why you need it? What's going on here that you need a 10-foot fence around your house? What's going on?
Yeah, you doing something back there.
Yeah.
All right. Got a couple more guys in the lobby. We'll get right back to y'all, but I want to just move forward with another segment. Chill. So apparently, the Warriors have considered Giannis Antetokounmpo as bringing him on board.
Oh, boy.
But hear me out, y'all.
This I
hear
don't
me
like.
out.
I don't like this right here. I don't like Ox's tone. The however in the butt. I just don't like it. But go ahead. It's about to be some bullshit.
They won't do it if it includes Draymond Green.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Right? This is exactly what I'm talking about, Ox. This is exactly what I'm talking about right now.
What?
This
what's wrong? Chill. Draymond Green he's a legacy player with the Warriors. He's been there all his career. They have this family. You can't just let go of family, right?
You can 100% let go of family. But it tells me what Golden State has been doing over the course of time. Because I don't think Draymond got tape. I don't think Draymond has film. I don't think he's got anything on these people. I just think Draymond has been so much more viable for this team than anybody else. And that doesn't include Klay Thompson. That doesn't include Steph Curry. I think that this Warriors team, I think that they want to keep Dre there for as long as Steph is there. I think when Steph is gone, he's gone. And because I think he looks at Steph in terms of his game where Draymond complements Steph's game so much. And I think that he complements that offense so much more with them. Now, don't get me wrong. If I have an opportunity to get Giannis, do I say no? No, I don't. However, at what expense am I trying to get Giannis? Because again, Ox, better player does not mean better fit. I consistently use the logic of Adrian Dantley was better than Mark Aguirre as a player. Mark Aguirre was just better for the bad boys. He was just a better fit for the bad boys than Adrian Dantley. Giannis, I've always felt like he's a lot more difficult to build around because of his skill set. You got to get specific type of players. He's not KD, where he's just a plug and play guy, where his game just travels everywhere. No. However, it is Giannis, though. Let's not make it sound like that I'm saying like we just can't throw Giannis. No, it's Giannis, and we can work some things out and we can figure it out. But I've always felt like with Draymond, Draymond, for that style of play that they have with the Golden State Warriors, ball moving, people moving, distributor, defender, that was all built around Steph, Klay, and Draymond. That whole offense, that defense, that was built around those three guys. Two of those guys are still there. If Giannis comes in, Giannis now, and again, we're talking about Giannis. Now we have to adjust to who Giannis is. And I think that, I think Steph and Giannis could work it out. I'm not going to argue that point. I do think that Steph and Giannis could work it out. But I just feel like with Draymond, it's always been him and Steph. Always been him and Steph. And I'm on
Right.
record saying this, Ox, and I'll stand on it. If Draymond was so replaceable, he's been there for 13 years now. Why didn't they replace him?
Yeah, I understand that. And I don't think he is just so replaceable, like as far as what he's willing to do and what he brings to the toughness of that team, right? But chill, I don't even know if this is news. Not so much as the Warriors won't let go of Draymond, but it's kind of like one of them things where you know when I'm talking to my homeboys and I'm like, man, I wouldn't date Taraji. Like, what? Like,
Yes, you would.
well, not only that, but what make you think Taraji checking for me?
Yeah, she might not be. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like,
Mhm.
do the Bucks really want Draymond?
Right.
You know, it's that's the question. Like, is this really news? You know, I'm not
Right.
sure. But I mean, with that being said, the lawyers, I mean, not the lawyers, the Warriors are making it. You know, they're making it known though that Draymond is valuable here, and we don't want to let him go.
Yeah.
So if they want Giannis, gonna have to be another package. Maybe Pods won't hold up this trade like he did with the Lauri Markkanen one.
He can't hold this one up, yo. He can't. Because if he hold this trade up, Steph got to go. Steph has
Please,
got
yeah.
to go. It has to be, right? We got to get if the Milwaukee Bucks call up the Golden State Warriors and asks, if Golden State calls and asks for Giannis and Milwaukee goes, all right, Pods is in the deal, and Golden State Warriors go, nah, we good. That means, Steph has got to get traded before the trade deadline. He got to go. He has to. Ain't no reason for him to still be here. None.
Chill. He should have been gone before last season. I tried to tell him, like, yo, Steph, get out of there, but don't want to listen to me. All right, well, anyways. Chill, something historic happened this last week.
What's that?
The streak is over.
What streak is
LeBron's double-digit scoring streak has come to an end. A streak that I wasn't really aware of until maybe 4 or 5 seasons ago. Maybe not that long, maybe 3 seasons, I don't know. I didn't really know that it was that big. But to know that LeBron James went 1,297 games, that's more games than most people ever even have in the basketball career. Damn an NBA career, I'm talking about a basketball career. 1,000, damn near 1,300 games of scoring 10 points or more. The next closest to that, Chill, is, of course, Michael Jordan with 866 games. Man. Next to him was the GOAT, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, with 787 games.
Ox, would it blow your mind if I told you that it took James, the streak has gotten broken at 1,297 games where he's had 10 points or more? Would it blow your mind, Ox, that Ray Allen has played 1,300 games in his career?
See what I'm saying? That's more. That's more games than most people even get a chance to play.
Ray Allen has played 1,300 games in his career. The last time James didn't score 10 points, it was January of 2007. Yeah, that was the last time that happened for him not to be able to do that. And I think to be honest with you, man, when I think about being able to consistently put points on the board, at minimum 10 points on the board for 18 straight years, where we are, 18 straight years, almost 19 years, where we are, to be able to do that, that's almost unheard of, to be able to do something incredible like that. And I think it's interesting that the streak got broken on him throwing a pass to Rui for the game winner when he could have took the shot. Yeah, he could have very well took the shot, missed it, made it, doesn't make a difference. But it was going to come to an end at some point. But I think that with James, he's one of those guys where he's going to have, like how we talk about Chamberlain, he's going to have one of those Paul Bunyan type of legacies where we're going to have a guy say, this guy averaged, 20 a game in the playoffs for 10 straight years. Well, James did it for 20, like stuff like that. Like this guy has 10 straight games where he's had 10 straight rebounds. Well, James did it for this many. I mean, I think James's legacy is gonna be something like that because he's done so many different things because he's been around for so long that it's gonna be almost impossible, if not impossible, I'm just blown away. It's gonna be almost impossible to eclipse any of this stuff, Ox, because he's been around for so long and he's been playing at such a high level. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that James is at a point in his career where what I used to be able to do, I can still do it. I just can't do it as often as I used to be able to do it. You know, when you hear stuff like arthritis, I mean, what does that tell you? That tells me that, we coming up on that time. Yeah, we definitely coming up on that time.
Chill, two things. First, I want to say, I agree with somebody in the chat. He was shooting the ball that night. He just wasn't going in.
Nope.
But second, I want to say LeBron, I think, tries to make the right play more often than not. And so I wouldn't really call that a sacrifice for him to not shoot that shot. I don't think he had a very good look at it as opposed to the pass to Rui. I think that was the right play. And Bron showed that back in Miami when he kicked that pass on the baseline to Giannis Haslam for a shot that Giannis always knocks down.
Yep.
Bron always, as far as what I've seen, tries to make the best basketball play. Shout out to him. Shout out to Rui for knocking that down.
Yep.
Second though, Chill, I seen some people in the chat. They're talking about the Cal Ripken streak is more impressive. I'm not hip. I don't really know what that is. What are they talking about? The Cal Ripken. What's Cal Ripken streak?
So as you know, Ox, in baseball, you play 162 games, and Cal Ripken, his streak is I think he's played 2,600 straight games. So essentially, what that is, Ox, is that's coming to work every day for like 15 straight years. Like you don't miss a day of work for like close to 20 years. Yeah.
What position did he play? I thought he was a pitcher.
Not only did he play third base, he played the hot corner, Ox. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
He played the hot corner. He was impressive.
I know no
Cal
pitcher
Ripken was,
did that.
He was Cal Ripken was incredible to be able to he did play shortstop. But I remember him playing third a lot with the Baltimore Orioles. But playing 2,600 straight games, like I said, Ox, that's like coming to work every day for 15 straight years. Like you don't miss one day of work, injured or not. And what Cal Ripken proved was I might not have it every day, Ox. There's gonna be some days where I suck. I am gonna have my ass at work though. I can tell you that. Here. I will be here though. You can guarantee that. I will give you what I got. And some days might be better than others, but I will show up to work. You don't have to worry about that. I will be here. So shout out to Cal Ripken, no doubt.
Definitely. Okay. Speaking of records, Chill. Kevin Durant. Moving on up. Kevin Durant is at number 8, 31,000 points. He has 1,419 to catch Will Chamberlain, 1,560 to catch Dirk Nowitzki, 2,292 to catch Michael Jordan. Are those the three guys that you think he'll catch this season? I don't think he'll get Kobe yet. Nah, I don't think so.
I think he catches Dirk by the end of the season, Ox. I'm and not even by the end of the season. I take that back. He's 560 points away from Dirk. I think he catches Dirk by the All-Star break. By the time we get to the All-Star break, if he doesn't catch Dirk by the All-Star break, it'll be immediately after that. But that's where I'm going at on the low end. I think he'll get close to Jay by the end of this season, but he definitely catches around this time next year. I think barring injury, I think he catches Jay.
Yeah,
and then
forgive me though, Chad. I was reading that like Kevin Durant was at 30,000. My bad, he's at 31. So he only has 500 to catch Dirk, 1,292 to catch Jay. My bad, y'all.
And I think he like I said, Ox. I don't think he catches Jay at the end of this season. I do think at this time next year when we're having this conversation, I think he catches Jordan next year, and I think that he gets close to Bryant by the end of next season. If not. I take that back, Ox. I think by the end of next season, I think he passes Bryant by the end of next season. He'll pass Jordan by this time next year, but by the end of the season, barring injury, he'll pass Bryant. Now, when you're talking about Malone and Jabbar, and this is KD at 38, 39, I don't think he's getting there.
I don't think he'll catch up to Carl, but I think he's going to get Kobe next year. Chill. Yeah. So if Kevin Durant catches Bean next season, remember, y'all, KD missed the whole season too.
He did.
And then well, he missed that one, but don't forget when what did he break his foot in OKC?
And I want to say in like 13 or something like that. Yeah,
Right.
something like 13 or 14, something like that, where he broke his foot and
Yeah,
he was
so
out.
this-
He was out. He missed like 60 games or something like that.
Right.
Mhm.
So this is a guy who's missed. He's missed some games. He's missed some significant time in seasons.
In 15.
When he first got to the Suns, remember he had got hurt and then on his way back rolled his ankle in the warm-ups and stuff like that. KD's had some injuries.
Yeah.
And he's still gonna catch Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Like that's gonna happen, y'all. That will put him at number 4 all-time scoring. A
Sure.
guy that we know this dude is a bucket. We know he is a lethal scorer. Chill, if he gets number 4 all-time scoring before he leaves the National Basketball Association, where does that put him ranked amongst the best scorers that we have ever seen? A guy that's a 3-level scorer. You know, a guy that slowed down a bit. When KD first got into the league, he was quicker, getting to the rim, banging, doing all of that.
Yep.
Where does this put KD all-time scoring?
Well, the consensus is that he's the best scorer ever. I think it's Jordan. Yeah. The consensus says that he's the best scorer ever. And I think that when, to your point, he passes up Bryant, he passes up Jordan, and he puts himself in this space, it legitimizes him. Because this is what I've been doing for 17, 18 years, right? Because I've always been a component. You know, production matters. I care about what you produce. And then being able to average 24, 25 a game for a bunch of years and being a bucket getter also in the playoffs when it matters the most. I mean, I think that solidifies where KD is. And KD being the 3-level scorer, he's got one of the most money mid-range games that I've ever seen. Not only does he have one of the most money mid-range games that I've ever seen, his pull-up game is fantastic at the long ball line, finishing at the rim with the best of them at 6'10", 6'11", can just jump over anybody. And the thing about KD's game in terms of a bucket getter that I really marveled at was that his game wasn't predicated on flight and athleticism. Even though if you go back and you look at KD from when he played with Oklahoma City in the early years, and even when he got with the Warriors, how he was just blowing by guys, how his stop and pop game was just so immaculate. Even when you look back then, it still wasn't predicated on flight and athleticism. It was getting to spots, right? And KD was a master at that. He didn't do a lot with the ball. I don't think that he did a lot of extracurricular stuff. It was one crossover, then a counter, 2 dribbles to the left, 2 dribbles to the right. He had one of the best handles that we're talking about. And with that being, and KD was definitely one of, you see that face that Ox just made? That face that Ox just made is when you hit somebody with that, you looking at them like, don't let him off the hook. Keep giving it to him. Keep doing that because he's that kind of player. So when we're talking about the pantheon of scorers, this legitimizes KD to pass Jordan, to pass Bryant. And I definitely think that he has a legitimate case to be the best scorer in NBA history. I think it's Jordan. But I definitely think that he has a legitimate case. So, yeah.
That reminds me, though, Chill, like last week, week before last, we had a tournament. We was playing this girl. She was coming down hitting, then just nasty. And I was, and then she was looking at me. We was making eye contact, and she like, yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
I got that.
There's more of that, coach. There's more of that.
Oh, yeah. You better put somebody on me. But, but Chill, back to KD. We seen KD with the Warriors, nasty. We seen KD coming off that Achilles in Brooklyn, nasty, still nasty. But chill, it was just something about that KD at OKC. I'm talking about 2014, 2013. Whew.
Like you knew what you were getting, Knox. It wasn't. It wasn't a situation with KD where you didn't know what you were getting. You knew that when you walked into Oklahoma City or when you saw him that. This is what you're getting. There was no mystery about me trying to do something else. No, I'm a bucket getter. And I'm not saying that that's all KD is.
Right.
Not at all.
No, I wouldn't say that. But speaking on it, though, Chill, see what Vail talking about. It was that double cross. Like, you're too big, way too long to be that explosive and have a handle that quick with the double. Yank, yank. Oh, man. Chill. And then he's 6'11", 7 feet tall. I can't get to that. Like, you can't be that explosive and then pull up shooting the ball way up here. How What am I supposed to do? I'm looking over at coach like, bro, you come guard him.
Yeah.
You know, like, what am I supposed to do to that?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous, Chill. Ridiculous. That might have been one of the. I'm not gonna go. I'm not because something. See, I'm getting hyped up. I'm gonna say something crazy. Let me chill.
Well, it's
relax.
Ox, when you're talking about a dynamic scorer like KD, yeah, absolutely. You go to the deep end with him because he has stuff. Like when I think about bucket getters, I think about guys who I got to eat your production because no matter what I do, we can't stop that. So when I see him cross and then counter cross and then 2 dribbles to the right and raise up, I can't get to that. When he's 6'10", I can't get to that, and he jumps this high. When he gets his shot off, he jumps this high, and the ball's back here, which means that is really like at like 9 or 10 feet. So I'm not going to be able to get to it. So with that being said, I'm just going to have to cross out what KD does. Okay, so let's see. When we go over the scouting report, okay, 28, cross that out because we're not going to be able to do anything about that unless he's just not scoring tonight. We're not going to be able to do anything about that. Push him to the left. Do everything that you can to be physical with him. And in the words of Scottie Pippen, keep the ball away from him as much as possible to throw him off.
Deny that.
Keep the ball away from him. Other than that, we're just going to have to eat that production because he was just so dynamic in everything that he did. The reverse pivot, the footwork, the face-up game. I think that where we are now with him in terms of him being on the scoring list, this legitimizes him.
Yeah, definitely. Chill, I remember back when I was younger and, you know, still moving good, still playing a lot of basketball, and I was like, man, I just want to get on the court with him one day. I just want to see what that's like. Like I want to see what it's like to try to guard something like that. Like
yes,
I've guarded big. I've guarded Dante Green, guys like that are kind of that prototype. You know, that 6'9", 6'10" wing. But I just wanted to see what that was about. Like I knew I couldn't deal with nothing like that, but I just wanted to experience that. Like there was nothing like young KD. Nothing like that. So I've never seen anything like 2013, 14, 12 Kevin Durant. I've never, ever, except for, you know, of course, Tracy McGrady. But, you know, like, other than that, so that was, yeah, come on, man. That was ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. I do got to get moving, but let me, let's make sure we fulfill these obligations and read this. Whoa, Diddler Biz sent a super chat. Said, Ox is okay, hold on. Ox is right. The NBA is dead. It lacks intensity and meaning. Regular season games used to mean something. The NFL is way more intense. Don't let up, Ox. Kind of put me on the spot there, Diddler. Hey, man. I think we can get a little better. I think we can just dig a little deeper, man. Last year, I think Nico saved the season. This year, I think Giannis will do it. But let me see. We got one more person in the lobby. I do gotta go, but let me fulfill these obligations. Stacks, what's up?
What up? Nope, no stacks. We had stacks.
Right, no stacks, man.
No stacks.
Y'all, we are going to get moving. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. If you missed the PCL yesterday, make sure you go back and watch that. It got intense there, y'all. It got really intense, man. Make sure y'all go check that out. We appreciate everybody that watched it live, and we're gonna appreciate everybody that watched it when it's posted now. Thank y'all for stopping by.
You got another super chat.
Wait.
Yes, we do.
Tank Dog 94 sent through a super chat. I can get y'all thoughts. Can I get y'all thoughts on Jalen Johnson? I think he is one of the best young stars in the game. He isn't getting enough recognition. Much love.
Yes, he does. We talk about Jalen Johnson on the panel all the time, how good he is. And I think he's one of the best transition players in the game. I think he's expanded his game. And a lot of people don't talk about that long ball that he shoots. Not only the long ball that he shoots, his stop and pop game is real good. Yesterday, he had a finish at the rim where he was surveying the defense, and he ended up running down the gut and just punching it on Jamal Murray. And I'm thinking to myself, that pickup point with Jalen Johnson got to be way different. It has to be. So, I mean, Jalen Johnson is awesome. I think he's going to make the All-Star team this year. I think he's a building block for what they're doing in Atlanta, and he's fantastic. No doubt about it. He's fantastic. No doubt.
Yeah, shout out Jalen Johnson. I haven't really got to see him too much this season, so I'm definitely going to start watching some more Atlanta Hawks games.
No doubt.
Definitely will. Yeah, but guys, that's the show. Like I said, we did go a little earlier today, so y'all just stay posted. Make sure you got your notification bells on. See y'all Monday.
This is what we do around here. We'll see you guys soon. You know where to find me and the big fella. We are right here. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. And if you ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, my big fella get you where you need to go. He got you covered. So we will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. You know where to find us at.
All right, y'all. Same time, same place on Monday. We will be there. Oh, tomorrow. You already know what time it is, man. Get there to watch the press box. If you want to see and hear great NFL football talk, man, that's the place to be, man. We'll see y'all on Monday, though. All right, y'all. Don't forget to never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive. We'll see y'all soon.
Later.
Peace.
Absolutely.